What is going on, everybody at the Gauche? Raise your hands in the air like you just don't care, because it's Saturday. LunchRush Madness on the Gauche. Hit that like, subscribe, and notification button so you get the latest and greatest from the Gauche. How is everybody doing today? We got a fun one for you. It's really going to be about you guys for the most part. We're going to kind of reach out to you guys, bring you on. We're going to do a live video chat with some peeps out there, kind of see how everybody's doing, what your typical Saturday looks like. As you can see, I'm wearing one of my alma mater's state shirts. I grew up in Ohio. But I would like to introduce you guys to somebody else that's also in here representing. Wonder Wife Gina in the house. Give her a warm welcome, everybody. Say hello, Gina.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, got the OH.
And we got the IO over here. So Ohio natives. A lot of you are probably not even close to football fans or even sports for that matter, but I'm not really heavy into sports as much as I used to. But the thing is, it's for the fun, right? It's just for the fun, the color, the dress up, felt like wearing red today, scarlet colors. It's fun. Anyways, we're going to be throwing a link out to you guys soon. We're going to be just hitting it off. We're going to do maybe some trivia. Don't worry, guys. We got Zaiden Zingers coming too, so hold tight. Right after this short intro. What is up, Gauche friends? Where's my weirdos and randos out there? Hit a 1 if you're ready to get this day started. It's storming like the Dickens out there, but we're still bringing it to you. Lightning and thunder. Hey, we are the lightning and thunder in the Gauche. We will bring you the energy when you don't have it. Even when we don't have it, we're gonna bring it anyway. We probably on maybe an hour or two, maybe sleep, but don't worry. Caffeine, storm energy, we're bringing it to you live. So give me them ones, guys. Are you all ready for this? Give me some ones. Because you know why? You all are number one. My little weird joke. I don't know. It's a fun joke. Whatever. It's fun. Anyways, let's bring on Gina. Hey, what is up, Wonder Wife? How you doing?
I got minimal sleep too. I'm running on empty, but we're here.
We are on the Gauche loopy loop mode. Storming. Stormy storms outside. And it's crazy. Julie, I know you're a Floridian. I know you're struggling with some of these storms too. It's all over the state, man. There's like a line of storms going from north to south, about almost the size of the state. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like the whole Gulf is on top of all of Florida right now.
The Gulf of Mexico decided to open up and say, here, have some of our lake or our Gulf water. Let me just dump it on you.
Pretty much.
Oh, man. Well, call some people out. Rick, welcome to the show. Harry, hello. Mel, Yvonne, Lisa, congratulations on becoming a mod. Ginger, hello. Miss Luck, welcome to the house. Amy, what's up? Paige Vaughn is loving it. This is what happens when you're on 1 or 2 hours of sleep. You don't know what's gonna happen. It is what it is, right? So I don't know. What do you think, guys? Do you want to do some live call-ins and just kind of have some fun today? Talk about some random topics, YouTube appropriate.
I'm ready to hear from everybody.
Wonder Wife Gina is ready for action. She wants to talk to you as well. Who wants to come into the live chat? Who wants to do some talking with us? Let me get some ones out there if you're interested. I will drop a link like it's hot. I'll drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it. I'm so goofy today. So goofy.
Oh. Did that slip?
Something slipped?
I dropped it.
You First zinger of the day. You dropped it, was it like it's hot? I pick it up. Booyah. All right, y'all, I'm about to drop here a link for you all to come on in and have some fun with us. This is open game, open season for everybody, but please, I'm going to say this, be respectful to everybody. Don't interrupt over individuals that are trying when they're already talking about something. Just some general rules of thumb. Be respectful in the chat. And you're good to go. Other than that, the game's afoot.
It's kickoff.
Let's do it.
For chat.
There it is. The link is in the chat. Booyah. Who's coming in to join us today on the Gauche? I also pinned it in the comments in the chat at the top. So if you missed it, it'll be also at the top, kind of pinned there. So in case you don't see it, you just look up at the top of the YouTube chat, live chat window there, and you will find it. Carrie, I see you. Mel, I see you. Bringing you in.
Hello.
There's Mel. There is Carrie. And there. Bringing back the Wonder Wife here. All right, you three are in the house. Do we have any more?
Hi there.
What's up? What's up, Mel?
Hello. I'm actually here in person for a change.
Yeah.
Well,
I've got the beard filter on as well. What do you think?
Honestly, I was a little like, I don't know what to say. It's pretty real.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I like
kind of
it.
filter is
These are Buccaneers pirates.
You do have that kind of piratey look to the
Yarr.
yeah.
Hello.
That's pretty wild. Who else is coming
Hold
into this?
Hold on. I've got this. Do you put?
Let me
Right.
see you guys in chat.
Sorry,
Anybody else
I
coming?
had it left on there, so you're getting echoes.
Oh, that's fine. So what kind of filter are you using? Is it like a Snapchat built-in kind of thing?
It
or-
must be built into the Zoom because I didn't even know I had it on. and I'm blonde, so I've never had to shave.
But that,
Nice.
that's the best stuff when it's not planned. That's where it's most fun.
I'm just going to take it as contouring and leave it at that.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, I just wanted to, if anybody had any questions about the royal stuff, especially all of our American friends, if I could answer it, I would like to be able to answer questions for people today. That's really, I just wanted to try and kind of help.
Yeah, that was a lot,
that
and that with the Prince Charles crowning too, that took place overnight for us.
He wasn't crowned.
Excuse me, he was not.
No.
Okay,
was
so
not
there's a
crowned.
clarity moment.
Yeah, because
Yeah. So this is basically if you want to do your introductions and stuff, and then if people want to ask questions and stuff like that, then
All right, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that
Yeah.
topic when it comes around. So I just want to give everybody a shot here to come in on the live chat. See what's going on. 21 only watching. Hit that like button. Thank you, Julie. Get this video liked because we're likable. We're likable. Come on. Who doesn't
Sean.
love these faces? Again, I dropped the link for you guys if you want to come on in to have a live chat with everybody. We'll get together, have a little fun, talk about some topics. We'll get to it. So, let's see. What's up, Brandon? Madonna? What's up? What's up?
They're all
Good to see you
moseying in.
guys. Sound off, Gina. What's up?
I said they're all moseying in.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even post the Telegram yet. Hey, if anybody has a moment, maybe copy the show link for YouTube into the Telegram. That's just to kind of give everybody a heads up. Hey, Eastern Standard Time has arrived. I get so confused with everybody's time zones. It's like, okay, your time is what? Your time is what? It's fun to think about. Because it's so cool to see how many different people from different time zones come in to the community. It's fantastic. I love it. Let's see.
So over here also, as far as the daylight savings time and changing the clocks forward and back, we've been going back and forth as far as not doing that anymore and keeping the same time. So how are the other countries doing it? Do you adjust
just wondering
for agriculture and stuff? Or
like, does UK do that? England?
Yeah, we have British summertime, so we go an hour behind.
Thank you, Julie.
Go an hour back around the end of it. Near Halloween time, we go back 1 hour, and then we go forward. But they're talking about getting rid of it because of the way that farming has all big industrial, big lights and things like that.
Yeah, that's what they keep saying over here in the States. And then the next year comes, and the next year comes, and it doesn't pass. And I don't know, like the whole thing the whole world has to come in agreement with.
Yeah, sorry, it's just my husband's going, how do you spell Zaiden? He's gone off to go and give you watch you on a different computer.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
On his account. He'll come back, but he's just going to get the views up.
Nice. Well, we welcome
so
your husband
far,
with warm arms.
Yes.
So far in Canada, we still do the hour behind, hour ahead, same time around Halloween.
October.
From what I know.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
In there,
Yeah.
I think ours
Haven't
is
heard
like
any-
first weekend of October typically? First or second
it's
weekend?
like about a
Something like
month
that.
out.
Yeah. And I haven't heard of any changes to be made to that. However, I could be wrong.
Yeah, really, we never know. Because ours, we had I guess a bill was passed in the state and went into what we call Congress, and that's supposed to go through and pass. I understand it was passed, but then there's the chance of appeal and all that junk. But all that political nonsense, which I don't talk about on the show. Politics is just not the best topic. But
Here.
But we'll talk about the positive stuff.
I don't know. Politics is life for me. I have a very different point of view on that.
Yep, that's absolutely okay. Everybody have a different point of view.
But can discuss it in a calm and reasonable manner. So I enjoy
I'll put a
discussing
limitation to that because there's a lot of sensitivity to it. But yeah, I see your point though.
Hey, then I have a question.
Yeah.
Did they pass it in every state? Do you know?
My understanding was just for the state of Florida, but there may have been more states because Congress gets interested if it's like if we're just doing it for one time zone, they want to make sure the other states are on board that are in that same time zone. So it is entirely possible that multiple states did get invested into that as well. I don't have all the information yet on that, but my understanding is there was some interest.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Especially, I don't live in the U.S., so I appreciate the knowledge, my
I
friend.
live in the U.S. and it's still complicated, so
Right, still can't
don't
keep
feel
track.
too bad. So we'll kick. Let's see. We'll kick off with another zinger or a zinger to start things off. Why not? What do you guys think, huh?
Yay!
Alrighty.
All right. How about this one? Did you hear? They arrested the devil. Yeah, they got him on possession.
Love it.
Ba-dun-dun-ch.
You're here all week.
How do you make holy water?
Well, you drill it.
You boil the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Where are the crickets?
Well,
Where, Lisa? I know you're out there.
not too
give
bad.
Me, give me Lisa,
No
Mike.
crickets
Oh, you're.
yet.
Shoot, two of you are waiting. My bad. Bringing you in. Here comes Miss Luck. Here
Oh, here
comes
come the crickets.
Lisa. Here comes my crickets.
Everybody's favorite bunny.
What happens if you you know, your man doesn't, you know, he can't appreciate your fruit jokes?
What? Repeat your question.
So what happens, you know, what, you know, if a man can't appreciate, you know, all your jokes about fruit?
Well, they're just gonna have to eat that fruit, no matter how.
You know, you're just gonna have to let that man go.
Exactly. They're gonna have to just deal with it.
Mango. Fruit jokes.
Oh wow! I did not see that.
Okay. Sorry,
done, Mark,
I
well
am
done.
terrible
Well
at
done.
butchering jokes.
No, that's what I was saying.
But that
on
was
chat
slick
last
because
night.
you did it so like
know,
believable. Like I just like oh, and then whack.
Yeah, my
That's
deadpan
the
is
best.
very is past the rigor mortis.
Mm. Isn't it believable
Hey,
that
Lisa,
she's
hey,
got
Miss
this
Luck.
filter on that makes it look like she really
Hello.
has a mascot? It's so cool. What's up? My favorite bunny of them all.
Hey, hoppity.
Hey, I just thought I'd hop right in, so no.
Hippin' and hippin' and happen and hoppin'. Welcome, my funny bunny.
Everybody's favorite bunny.
You know, I mean, I'm not trying to get too big for my ears or anything, but I think I'm like surpassing like bugs here, so.
Nice.
So.
Well, on that note,
Ba-dum-bum. No.
ba-dam-ba-dam. So, what do you call a hippie's wife?
What do you call a hippie's wife?
A hippie's wife.
Stinky. I don't know.
Happy? Happy?
The answer is
Pudding?
Mrs. Sippy.
Mississippi.
Waka waka.
Oh, Zaiden.
I know.
Oh,
So
Zaiden.
terrible it's good.
Yeah, that one gets
So
crickets.
terrible it's so good. How about this one? What did the evil chicken lay? This should be easy.
Deviled eggs.
Bingo! Lisa's the winner.
Yay!
Yay!
Double
See, I know
eggs.
some of these bad dad jokes.
Did you know that, you know, like geology really, really rocks, but geography's where it's at.
Let's see. Did you hear?
What?
Did you hear about the surgeon who enjoyed performing quick surgeries on insects?
I didn't hear what you said.
Did you hear about the surgeon who enjoyed performing quick surgeries on insects? Yeah, he did one on the fly.
Haha.
Oh, goodness.
I don't-
that one's
sandpaper
bugging me.
across my eardrums. Oh no.
Yeah, that
Oh,
you know,
no.
I really, really have a problem. I don't trust stairs because they're always up to something.
Ah.
Love that. It's a classic. I love it. I love it.
All right, here's one more one, which is really, 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 really sad. Why was Dumbo sad?
Why was
He
Dumbo
felt-
sad?
Why was Dumbo
Yeah.
sad?
He felt irrelevant.
Oh. Oh man.
I've
Love
got
it.
some more when you want.
Well, I'll go ahead and launch one more here. Why not? I know a bunch of good jokes about umbrellas, but they usually go over people's heads. Oh my gosh.
So what
terrible.
if I don't know what apocalypse means? You know, it's not like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
There you go.
Wait, well, how about you in the chat? And does anybody have a dad joke for us in the chat? I want to see a good dad joke in the chat.
Yeah, no.
So, a skeleton
no.
walks into a bar and he orders a beer and a bucket.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
I
it.
don't know. That's it.
I heard this earlier this week. Was that from you?
Probably.
oh
I don't
my
know.
god.
It's my dad's favorite dad joke, so I might tell it a lot. So
My
Like,
husband, my husband knew he was truly part of the family when my dad asked him to shake his hand and farted.
what? What?
My dad. Okay, so like my husband's family do all we do contact, did all the dodgy, weird, uncomfortable sex jokes that I'm like you're my parents-in-law. I don't need to be hearing these things, and my family just do all the fart jokes. So
Oh,
my husband knew he was truly part of the family, and my dad goes, "Shake my hand, Sean," and then just does a really huge fart.
my dad
Oh,
used to do the
gosh.
pull the finger one on me.
Pull my finger, yeah.
Yeah.
Or he'd be like, "Did you see that elephant running under the chair?"
Barking
You know.
spiders.
Too.
Barking
It's
spiders.
like,
Elephant under the chair. Oh, did you see that? Did you hear that duck?
That's what I say. I'm
the
always
duck,
like,
yeah.
my God, the ducks are flying low this evening.
Or-
Birthday.
The best one I heard was the spiders are barking.
Spiders are barking.
Barking spiders. That came from Montana.
Amy posted one in the chat.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I'm gonna read it out loud, Amy. Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? There's great food, but no atmosphere. You got my zinger thumb up. Nice, Amy. That's very
Cool.
very cool. All right, I'm gonna post the link one more time for you guys that are just joining in. If you want to join in on the fun or live chat here on the Gauche, there's that. Don't forget to visit our link tree, which does help us with this channel, get it growing. Obviously, we thank you for anything you do to help us out to get this studio stable and going for you guys for the best quality that we can offer. Primarily, we do donations through the Cash App. If you choose to, you can go through PayPal, which allows you to do comments as well. I believe the Stream Elements, I call it the super comment. I believe I have it fixed, but you guys are gonna have to let me know if you try it out. It goes through for you. But there you go. Thank you guys for everybody coming in today. So let's get a temperature check. How's everybody in chat today? Give me a 1 if you're doing fantastic. 2 if you're barely awake, but still fantastic. 3 if you're meh. Meh. Meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
Meh. Kind of like the lyrics of my tunes I put on. Meh, 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 meh. 2, oh, Lisa. Here, but
I'm
okay.
barely awake.
I think
I'm
you and
weird.
I think we're in the same boat.
Hey, Zaiden.
Hey, Lisa.
If two vegans get into an argument, is it still called a beef?
Okay, that was good. I like that. Julie got a 3. Like, I'm a zombie. Nah.
I
Let's see. What do we got? We got some more comments here. Amy's still recovering from last night. Hello, heroes. Be a super chat. Thank you, Mrs. Gina. Wonderful wife. She's behind me. Everybody say hi to Gina.
Hi, everybody. Oh, here
Hey,
it goes.
Yo,
There you go.
Hello.
hello, lovely lady.
What a nice surprise.
oh goodness sakes.
That neighborhood song from Mr. Rogers.
I've never seen an episode of Mr. Rogers. Is Mr. Rogers the title of the show? Was he a
What?
character in the show?
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It was
I've
Fred
never
Rogers.
heard.
No.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
No.
It was not
You
shown
got some
in the UK.
binging to do, young lady.
Because I know in Home Improvements, the man who was on the other side of the fence was supposed to be like the Mr. Roberts homage.
Oh, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah,
Mr. Wilson.
but that was a homage to the Mr. Roberts character, I believe. Rogers' character, sorry.
Eh, well, he's
No,
kinda like
not really.
He's the neighbor that says hello, but he's not the neighbor that has puppets, trains, and everything
Yeah,
else.
the trolley and yeah.
I mean,
the
I
little-
see the parallel though, because honestly, if you go into the other world behind when the trolley, if you will, goes around, it's really kind of a puppet show. So it's like him behind the fence, if you want to think of it that way.
Yeah. But is there being the advice of the good, the fatherly figure and all that kind of thing? That was just, I heard back in the day and then remembered that, but,
Does anybody remember Mr. Rogers in the chat? Anybody remember Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
Oh,
we
yeah.
lost somebody.
I do. Sorry.
Oh,
I
you're
think
good.
Mr. Rogers was like ordained or something first before he created his television show. And then that just took off, and that was his whole life.
wow.
Yeah, it was a pretty long running show.
He also wrote like books like as well, or maybe they wrote books about like different quotes that he had made and stuff like that. He was actually
Yeah.
like a really good man.
Yeah, like
He
positive motivational
Yeah.
quotes, yeah.
I think that was one of the, because I had, I mean, again, I had a pretty terrible childhood. But that was one of the shows that kept me actually in a kind of a positive state of mind. Because he always had that positive, like, the wisdom that kind of comes into each show that he does, which I appreciated even as a kid. And that stuck with me over the years.
Eddie Murphy did the best skit on it, though.
Oh my God.
Oh
That's
yeah, I was
classic.
gonna say Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Mr. Robinson's
This is
Neighborhood,
how
yes.
this is how we
Oh
answer
my
the door in my neighborhood, boys and girls. Who there?
Who there?
Who there?
Who remembers that one in chat?
Oh my God, that was so great.
Hurry up!
What do you want?
Here's a
I just found this
question.
You open
TV
the door, what do
in
you
the
want?
hallway. Yeah.
I've
It's like, oh, it's so bad.
It was so bad, but so funny.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you haven't
Yeah.
seen that, you got to pull that up.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to look that up later.
no, I can post the links to it if I can find it. There it is.
But did any of you guys kind of grow up in a neighborhood or a community where people literally used to leave their front door key in the Yale lock in the front door so that you could just come in?
In my generation, I mean, not obviously, but I will say as kids, like how they say a lot of times, now you have to have a daycare center after school. We went home and yeah, we either had the house key or
Latchkey.
we did hide it somewhere, you know, under the mat type of thing.
Yeah, we did the same
that's-
thing.
Yeah, latchkey kids. They got called in the UK.
So when you
But
say
no,
latchkey, like, tell us a little bit more about that.
That's just, I don't know what the phrase, I think the latch is part of the key. Sean, what's...
Is it like a key that
The latch
you
is
hide,
a-
or
No, I think it's just
Oh, a
latch is a
latchkey.
type of yeah, sorry, latch.
literally a latchkey?
Yeah, and that's what they call the kids are latchkey kids. And
Oh,
but no, you can't do that with a child under 12 in the UK. They have to be in some kind of you know,
After
protective
school program or
atmosphere.
something.
Yeah, you know, or with a childminder or something like that. You know, it's kind of it's kind of nuts. We end up getting nannies when I was still working because I would get home by 7, but I would need to be at the nursery by 6, and I couldn't do that. I just wouldn't be able to get there in time, and neither is my husband. So we'd have to get someone to pick up our kid to do that, and we wanted them to go to nursery to socialise them, and then we have to pay somebody to pick them up then from that for a couple of hours when we were living in London. But they're 14 now, so they can, you know, sort themselves out.
in case you're all wondering, I posted the YouTube. I
Oh,
can't
there
play
it is.
it, but it's the kind of what it looks like in Mr. Robinson's neighborhood. He always had like the ghetto everything in this home. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Great skit.
You gotta match put the Mr. Rogers right next to. Props.
Right?
That looks like the set of a sitcom called Rising Damp.
Rising Dam?
Rising Damp.
Damp.
Damp as in dampness in
Yeah.
the wall or something. That's hilarious as well. I'll have to find links to that because you
Yeah,
guys
his
will find that
rundown
ridiculous.
apartment.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's this guy renting out rundown apartment. It's in 1970, so it's very on PC. But they've got, I don't know if anybody's watched Death in Paradise, which is like a detective show from the BBC. But the head of the island, the commissioner of the police, who's this gentleman, elderly black gentleman, he is in Rising Damp, and he's, you know, living there. He's off the boat, so that, you know, it's dealing with racism and everything in it. In the 1970s, it's kind of a bit ahead of its time, but was very, very funny as well. And then there's an actress called Frances de la Tour, who is British, but she was in the Harry Potter movies as well as every other British actor was. And he was chasing her in it. So I'll have to find some links so you guys can download those because they're really funny. And I'll be quiet again.
Check that out.
No, so I'm doing a little multitasking here at the same time. Reposting the link in case anybody wants to join us on the live video chat. It's the Gauche community coming together to have a little fun on Saturday. We had a long day yesterday with everything in the UK.
Do you want to come in, honey?
We
So-
need a magician's hat because Lisa keeps appearing and disappearing.
I was actually thinking about that.
I'm making a coffee. Sorry.
I'm like, there should be a magic hat right there. Magician's hat. Oh my god, that's great. What happens
She's
when you
gotta
pull
get-
a bunny out of a Zoom? You get Lisa Hoppity Bunny.
Hoppity-hoppity-doo. Hoppity-hoppity-doo.
Yeah, Rick says he used to put his key under the mat. I think a lot of us did, right? So because there wasn't all that many hiding spots back in the day, or maybe the trim at the top of the door, like on top. Some people would do that, or in the lamp,
Yeah.
if there's like a door lamp or something.
So my brother was 3 years older than me. I was the younger child. But because he was the older child, he was given the responsibility of having the key. which didn't work very well. So there was a lot of times where we were locked out of the house and he'd have to find another way in. Till eventually the parents gave me the key because they realized, oh, he's not remembering it. So we'll give it to the younger kid. I don't know how that just came back to me. I remember that.
How many of us actually had trouble with locking your keys in the car? And maybe one step worse, while it's
leaving
running.
it on.
I had the worst habit of doing that, locking my keys in the car for a long, long time. And I wound up making friends with the tow truck guy who would always come to open the car. But it's kind of a funny story. But like years down the road, when I lived in Hawaii, he wound up moving to Hawaii, and I'm like, I know you, and he's like, I know you too. And he was, somebody that I rode horses with, and he was like, oh my gosh, you're the girl who used to lock her keys in the car all the time. But
Wow.
yeah, and so I was like, oh my gosh, how funny is that? And he, because we were just, through just lots of conversations, but it was funny because I had a Volkswagen Bug at the time. I had a 72 Super Beetle, and so he was like, sweet girl, like, let me show you how to break into this car so that you don't have to call me to do this. So if you tap on the little side windows, they would pop open. He goes, and then just stick your hand in there and you can unlock it. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, I learned how to break into my own cars after that.
That's awesome.
GTA Hawaii.
So
Well,
I'll tell you a good story about
GTA Hawaii.
what's that? DTA?
GTA Hawaii.
Grand Theft Auto?
Oh no, this was in California, in my hometown, but it was kind of funny. I mean, I moved to Hawaii in my 30s, and it was interesting. I mean, and I grew up in kind of a middle of nowhere town in California called Merced and Atwater. And I could not believe that when I moved there, how many people were from Merced and Atwater, California. It was so strange. There was a little community of us there. It was very strange. So,
Well, actually, it used to be my hometown as well. When people moved to London, they kind of moved over to the area where they knew other people had moved over from. So there was a little conclave of my town in a part of London as well. So yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
People naturally will ghettoize themselves.
Yeah.
When you're an immigrant, because it's
Oh, just
similarity.
a quick heads up. Shock's giving the answer key for Temp's stream later on in chat. Please do not feed bunnies lettuce.
Yes, let us be. Let us be. Let us be.
Let us be.
No.
Yes. Let us be. Let us be. Let us be. Oh man, getting us started in the music. Woo! Man, gotta watch out for that performance copyright. I hate that, man. I want to just karaoke my heart out. Craziness. Did we lose another one? Man, Mel, we lost you. All right. Links out there if you guys want to come back in. Carrie?
Everybody's just hopping off. It's terrible.
I'm here.
You're still here? Good. Hey, well, hey,
Yep.
you're still hopping on.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'll give you a quick story. A while back, when I first started going into pro wrestling, we actually had some tickets to actually see a WWF at the time event in our town of Toledo, Ohio. And I had a 1987 Chevrolet Caprice Classic at the time. Fantastic car, by the way. I missed that thing. So of course, everybody gets out of the car. And they're like, dude, your car's running. Oh, man. Let me get that then. Driver's door is locked. Okay, passenger side, check. That's locked. Back doors are locked. We're like, dude, no, man. You left us stuck here. Well, that's okay. We can go watch the show and come back. Maybe it'll just die out then or something. But
my gosh.
here's the interesting part. There was a police officer that actually walked up They said, "You guys having some problems?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I accidentally locked the keys in the car while it's running." And he just sits there for a moment. I'm gonna let you soak that in for a minute. Just hold on. He's like, literally 60 seconds. I'm gonna wait. And then after 60 seconds passes, we're just kind of like so embarrassed, you know. He's like, "Now I'm gonna teach you how to break into your own car." Sure enough, he taught me how to break into my own car. A police officer.
Oh, wow.
And that was my story. Go figure. A cop.
Yeah. That's why, like, when cars started coming out with, like, the keyless entries, like, with the codes, I'm like, from here on out, I'm buying a car like that.
Right?
Now, you know, now if you can just remember the code when you need to, that's another story. So,
Yeah.
but, you know, but mine's actually simple, so, but, like, yeah.
Like
that's...
11111.
No, it's not that simple, but
1, 2,
it's
3,
like
4, 5.
2 numbers twice or 3 times or whatever, you know, it's like, get in there, you know, like, yay, but
Yeah.
but sometimes I enter the numbers wrong. How do I do that? I don't know. It's only 2 numbers.
I don't know, like, how does it work
times.
if you do it? Do they actually lock the door if you do it too many times incorrectly? Welcome back, Mel. I'll pin you back in here.
You seeing Jill's joke?
I don't think
there's a joke.
so.
Well, I bought a Ford Crown Victoria after that, as a matter of fact. I love Bodie cars. Back then, it was my thing. Which had a keyless entry thing on it. So it's interesting you said that, Lisa. So there's a joke in the chat. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, Jill posted a joke.
Oh, let me see. Why did the lettuce blush? I saw the salad dressing. You get the honorable cricket mention.
Oh.
That's good. Did you just get it, Gina?
I was waiting for you guys to see it.
That's awesome. That was a home run, Jill. If that was the only one you had, you got my fist bump. Nice.
Honorable one.
Well, why not? We'll do another zinger. Sure. Why not?
Yay!
What is the most popular fish in the ocean? The answer is a starfish.
Oh.
Oh, man, my ears are hurting. It's so terrible. Zaiden, stop the madness. Sorry, madness is going strong. On 1 hour's of sleep. 1 hour. I pluralized 1 hour. That's how tired I am.
1 hours.
1 hours.
1 hours.
Yeah.
So I had a crazy childhood, right? My dad used to put me in tires and roll me down the hills. Those were good years.
Hey, we did that. Yeah, we used to get like a big tire tractor and do it.
Oh my God, I did
like
that once.
a tractor tire, tractor tire. It was fantastic.
I know. I was believing him. I didn't realize it was going to be a joke, and then I'm thinking of all these times, episodes, you know, tire swings, and rolling and sliding down the hills, and
Well, we know there's some of us have done that, you know.
Back when
roll
you
the
could
tire
have
down.
good, clean fun and not be like told not to. Don't do that.
yeah.
Don't do that.
Well, no,
you know?
I think
or
the problem
empty your
is,
entire contents of your stomach inside the tire. Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the problem is it's worrying about things being dangerous, and also the fact that as a parent you can be sued because your child did something.
Well, now,
You know.
but
Well,
yeah,
I don't know how
exactly
it is in the UK,
now.
but
And well, no, it is. It's like there was a village in England, and there had been this huge tree in the village green,
Mhm.
and there'd always been a swing on it.
See-
And a kid fell off the swing. You know, it was just
Oh.
a little swing attached to the tree, and the
Really?
parents sued. They were tourists, and they sued. They weren't from the village or whatever, and that they've had to take this swing that's been there for centuries, as far as they know, away.
just not the same. Like I've done it. I don't know how many times I brushed my. Yeah, you get cuts and bruises, but that's all part of having a childhood.
But definitely the litigation culture that existed in America is now very much in the UK as well.
Yeah, and that's what's terrible about it. I agree. Like 20 years ago, shucks. Plus,
yeah,
20
man,
years
in the
plus.
Recently,
70s,
my friend was telling us when COVID hit and everything was locked down, and they just came to the States, but they were still over in Africa, right, during COVID.
Yeah.
And the different lockdowns that you guys had there, and people couldn't go to the stores, or there was like only one day, and so they were trying to create a tire swing at home for their kids.
Right.
And what happened? The rope that they got, they tied it up and it held secure, but then like the next day it was drooping, right? And then so he tightened it some more, and each day it just kept like unraveling until he realized what the type of string or rope it was, and the way it was stitched, it was supposed to have that pull. So it wasn't going to work for this swing, but they couldn't get back to the store because it was COVID. So they tried, but
I know. I remember that story. Oh my gosh. Here's what's interesting
but that shows you how times change and people don't even know how to make a tire swing.
Well, these days,
Or
you might
maybe
get
there's
sued
too
for
many
it.
choices of rope as well.
Exactly, yeah.
It can get a little confusing. So let me tell you this much: you have the rope with the swing and with the tire anyway. But what was even more dangerous, even back in the day, was when you took a tire and you went down sledding with it during the snow days. I don't know how many people I've known hit trees and brush.
That was so fun.
But it was the best, right? Like,
it was so fun. And if you linked up and made a chain and all went down together,
yes,
that was so fun.
That?
You sit.
Come on.
You sit, Oh my gosh, it was wonderful.
Well,
you put your feet on the tire in front of you, and the people put their arms over your legs, and that was the best.
We don't get very many snow days, so
right.
And we're in a valley here, and it's a maritime climate, so England doesn't get that much snow these days. But
Did you guys
really
used to?
don't get. Yeah, England. Oh well, yeah. It's it's climate change at work. It's my parents remember having much worse snow and things like that. Like my dad had to come and dig his way to the front door of my mum's house to help them get out. And you dig the roads basically out and stuff, and there was like the storm of 63 or something. But they said, there's been very few times in my lifetime that there's been like snow for any length of time at all. We have it for like 1 or 2 days and then it melts and that's it.
Oh my God, the stories I could tell you. Like my mom told me that when she was younger, the snow here in Nova Scotia would reach all the way to the top of the telephone poles.
Yeah.
And my mom is young, so
wow.
Like to think of that is like, walking to school like how many feet in the air trying to get to school.
Yeah, my mom grew up in Chicago, and she said that like pretty much every year they lived in a 3-flat, and pretty much every year it would snow to where they couldn't get out of the door, and they would toboggan out of the windows. They would take toboggans and toboggan out of the windows and stuff like that, and then they'd have to climb in through the windows until they could get of course the doorway cleaned out. But I think even like as kids, they would still do that anyway, just because it was fun, I'm sure, to toboggan out of the windows.
I would do it. I mean, I was crazy, but but who wouldn't?
Yeah,
I mean,
and
then it shucks. Any kid would probably want to do that if they had the chance, right? Most kids.
Yeah. And then that her uncle would push back the snow and then put water on it so that they could go ice skating in the backyard and stuff like that. So
I was just gonna say, When I was a kid up in Ohio and the PA area, rural areas, had some friends. So up in their hills and stuff, back alley streets. So they would make a sled ride going all the way down their front yard. And then, throw water on it to make it really nice and slippery and fast. And we'd just shoot all the way down those hills up in the PA area, Pennsylvania area.
Wow, yeah. A couple comments here I'm going to read off real quick. Yvonne says, I still let my children climb trees. Fell out of them myself a lot probably putting up rope swings. Broke my leg jumping off and my arm a few months after. My bro and I were always in arts and entertainment. There's some stories me and my brother had, because me and him would get so crazy with stuff, and my brother would be the one that always falls out of the tree for some reason. One time, if he's watching, I don't know, but he'll confirm the story. He was in the tree and I was throwing tennis balls at him like we were playing dodge tennis ball, but he wanted to catch one and he realized, I'm not grabbing on anything in the tree, and the under the ground
Just fell.
Oh no, that was so terrible. I was actually kind of worried for him for a moment, but that's the stuff we do as kids. We get dumb. But we had a tree fort too. The thing is, we had a tree fort for only 2 weeks because we didn't see anything in fine print that says, you can't build a tree fort in the community we were in. So HOAs and all, even back then, when we were kids. So we had a cool little tree fort going on. And lo and behold, the park management says you got to have it down in less than a week or you get fined. It was like $1,000. So my dad ended up turning into a huge sandbox. But whatever.
Oh, man.
But man, I love them tree forts. Those are so fun.
I had fun climbing trees.
So many tree forts. So many. They were unbelievable.
Excellent!
Uh-oh. I got an excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Mel, for your PayPal donation. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Thank you for that.
Yay!
That definitely.
Don't read out my real name.
I won't. But thank you. Sincerely, thank you.
It's cool.
So who climbed walls also? I used to
We
go in the
did.
hallways and spider up the walls. Did you guys do that?
Oh, we used to climb the walls outside. We would just be given breakfast and sent out and told to come back when it was lunch,
Yeah.
I remember being bored at my when we'd be bored and it was the summer and it was, we're in a housing estate and, we're poor, so, my dad has a car which he uses for work and my mum is a housewife and that. So we'd be given an empty jam jar and we'd catch bumblebees in the jars. And you put some
bumblebees?
flowers. Yeah, bumblebees, yeah. And you'd put some flowers into your jar for them, and then you'd see and put some holes in the top so they can breathe. And then you'd gently catch them by kind of capturing them when they're on a flower and bringing them in. And you'd see how many bees you could get in one jar.
We did that with lightning bugs.
Yeah, but we did it with bumblebees because we don't have those.
Did you have like honey farms?
No. I live like a 10-minute walk from the center of town in a low-income housing estate.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, there's no greenery or anything like that in the housing estate. So there's people who had flower bushes and stuff like buddleia bushes along their hedge area. So their boundaries. So we do that, and we play rounders, and we go to the football field and play football and stuff like that. And they had a BMX park.
I remember those days. We had one near us too. What about you, Lisa?
And our BMX park we had this, and it's always going to be a football pitch because it was a dump. It was the city dump.
Oh, well,
So
yeah.
they can't build on it ever again. so it's always going to be a recreational football pitch.
Did they since then kind of like build parks for that, or was that like back in the day, or?
That's back in the day. I don't know why they did this, but I know there's the BMX park, and what was really, really funny is it was next to the football pitch, and the football pitch had these really, really high slopes at either side, and so your BMX park was at the top of this slope, so if you missed on a jump, you'd end up like 30 feet down on the football pitch. You know, it's an utterly mad place to put it. It's just, you know.
All right, I'm reading some of Brandon's comments here too.
Yeah, go for it.
I gotta ask Brandon. Brandon, did you like pyrotechnics in the day? I'm just curious.
Brandon,
I
are you
wanna see his
secretly
response.
Northern Irish? First time I was ever in a real bomb situation was in France.
So he says he got in trouble. Oh, somebody else got in trouble for arson. Okay, I misread that. So, yeah, you know, when somebody pushes you off a tree fort, probably not a good person. So I agree with that. That kind of ruins the whole fun, doesn't it? Like, you want to be in tree fort to have fun, not get pushed off of it. That's terrible. Sorry about that, buddy. Let's see. But there's another comment in here too that really catches my interest, because how many of us have had that rule of thumb growing up where either the lights come on at dark, you come home, or sunset, or in my case, my dad's whistle. You don't get back home, and like, I think it's like a 10-minute period. Like, there's one whistle, and then there's the second whistle where you know you're in trouble. That's how we grew up. Yeah, we got in trouble a lot. So, wow. So
my cousins, my aunt and uncle, they had that certain whistle, but yeah, we were more so when the lights came on, we had to go in.
All right, Brandon, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, we were lights coming on in the summer, and in the winter time we'd generally probably be inside each other's houses. So, you know, you'd just get your parent ringing the house to tell you you'd come home now, or it would get towards 9 p.m. and you'd have to go home, and the parent would come out and they'd watch you walk home, and, you know, both parents would wave at each other, you know, to hand over complete.
Yep. Hey, Brandon.
Welcome, Brandon, to
Hello.
live chat. How you doing, my friend?
I'm pretty good. I'm feeling better. I was sick all week, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
no,
yeah, we
I didn't-
heard.
I liked popping fireworks, but yeah, that kid he ended up burning a house down or something. So he was like a step cousin.
Oh,
and,
gosh.
yeah, he
Oh,
went
man.
to prison.
Wow.
Oh,
But
wow.
we were in the country,
Yeah.
and I was like on top of a big tree out here in Texas, and we were on top of it. They just built it, and he just pushed me off, and I fell down, and everybody was scared. So I just landed on my back and just knocked the air out of me. But it was like a big fall, and everybody was afraid because, you know, like, you never know how you're gonna land. So,
Right. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
man.
all the adults were like, "Oh my god," you know, like. But yeah, I'm fine.
Well, I'm glad you are, man. You're living and breathing and doing the dream, as
Oh,
you
yeah.
say.
Get some bumps and bruises along the way growing up.
Don't we all, man? I tell you what, everybody's got a unique story too, and but that's what makes us.
Well, that was
unique.
like your brother's bike ride when he flipped over, right, into the...
Oh, a bike ride thing.
Your brother.
Oh, my brothers. Oh my God, yeah. So he had, when I first got a 10-speed bike, my brother decided to say, I'm gonna go ahead and go take it for a test run. So he takes my bike, goes down the street, comes back. He couldn't figure out how the brakes worked, and my dad was saying, slow down, and then my brother's like, I can't slow down. So he's coming right into the back of a Detroit Iron Valari station wagon. And he does a Superman move. He jumps off and does like Superman over the top of the car, like it was in the movies or something. But the bike, flat on the front. Man, new bike destroyed.
Oh my gosh.
I have to give my dad credit though. He did rebuild it pretty cleverly. But that was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing, and my mom's freaking out. Is he okay? Is he okay? Oh my god! And I'm here. I am dying laughing, and even my dad's like giggling. Oh, he's fine, honey. You know. Of course, my brother. He's like, man, that was so awesome. Did you see that? Like, oh wait, I ruined the bike. So yeah, that was that story.
Yeah, it's always fun to laugh at it afterwards, you know? I mean, at the time you're like, oh crap. But when everything's fine, you're like, okay, it's a fun story.
Yeah, I used to get in trouble like all the time because like my brother was a klutz, like such a klutz. And he would hurt himself like walking. And and I would laugh because it was funny, but I would also laugh because I was nervous, because like, what if he really hurt himself? And so I used to like get in so much trouble for laughing at my brother all the time when he would hurt himself. And I still to this day, when he does stuff, I'm like, laugh, and I try to catch myself not do it. And he's like, I know you think it's funny. It's totally fine. I don't care. But like they'd be like, go to your room or do whatever. And I'll be like, okay. So I'd go. And finally, like my dad realized that. He's like, are you laughing because you think it's funny, or are you laughing, because you're nervous? It took years for them to figure it out. But so then it was like, okay for me to laugh at my brother when he got hurt. But,
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like there was one time where he was doing like 360s on his skateboard. This is back in the 80s when that was like one of the coolest tricks to do and stuff like that. And like his foot slipped off the tail of his skateboard and he like did the splits, and I was
you did get what do they call it, pop? You get popsicled, that's what happened.
Basically that's what happened. Yeah. And like I mean, I laughed so hard when he did because it looked funny as it happened. And then the bad part was, it's like he came in and my mom was like, well, let me make you some soup so you can feel better, and blah, blah, blah. So he's sitting at the table and he spills the whole bowl of soup right into his lap after. And I knew that, because I danced ballet, and like, I know like when, you have to stretch properly to be able to do the splits, and if you don't, it hurts, and so here's my brother with a sore groin from doing emergency splits, and then he pours hot soup in his lap, and like I still like, it's not funny, but it's funny,
Yeah, at the time it probably felt bad.
Yeah,
I know, and like, but he, he'll laugh about it now. He thinks it's funny, but like, and yeah, I feel terrible because like there's so many stories like that about my brother that like I could barely get through them without laughing. So
yeah, there's one. I used to skateboard too when I was younger, and I lied to my parents one time, and I said I fell down trying to kickflip down a flight of stairs at the high school where I was going to, and what actually happened, me and my friend were actually in the back of the tailgate of a truck that was going down the road, and he jumped off and hit the ground running. They were going like 15 miles per hour. And he goes, they were all jump, so I went to go jump, and the guys that were driving said by the time I jumped, they were going like 40, and my feet just went out from under me. I hit face first into the concrete, and
yikes!
And like I had braces, so like the braces were stuck in my cheek.
Man,
like,
I did too. I know how that feels, bro. Oh my god!
I told my parents I fell down skateboarding, and they're like, "You're a terrible liar," because I am a terrible liar. They knew. They were like, "What happened?"
Wow.
They're like, "That's not a skateboard. That's a bad impact."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
My friends
One
are laughing
incident
though.
I remember that I did to my brother was we were wrestling around. We didn't. Once in a while, we would play and wrestle around or pillow fight or whatever. So it happened to be that day. And I guess he wasn't feeling too well. And my mom wanted to take his temperature. So I didn't know she had put thermometer, the old glass mercury thermometer in his mouth. So I'm thinking, now here's my chance that I could swing back with the pillow back at my brother.
Oh.
Yeah. It went straight through under his tongue, the thermometer. Thank God it didn't break, because no mercury, nothing, no poison leaked in. But yeah, that a lot of blood.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
He was okay.
childhood accidents.
Yeah.
Man.
I got injured on my 4th birthday. A friend of my mum's, one of the neighbours, came round to talk, and she had a dog, and I was playing with the dog in the back garden, and I was holding its lead, and we were walking, and the owner called it, and it ran, and I fell down, and my tongue was kind of sticking out of my mouth or whatever, and I just slammed shut my mouth and my teeth onto my tongue.
Wow.
And it was the day of my birthday
Yikes.
itself, and I remember getting one of these sweets, like one of them which go fizz in your mouth like sherbet, and that hurt. But I actually had to get stitches into my tongue that day. It was weird.
Oh, they had to stitch your tongue?
Yeah,
Wow.
they had to, like,
Not full laceration, but it was lacerated enough where you needed the stitches to hold. Okay.
Yeah. So it was
Yikes.
like I didn't get to eat any of my own birthday cake or anything like that.
That's so terrible. Like,
Or
No,
How
it
bad
was
timing.
okay because I had a friend, and our mums met in hospital having us and kept in contact. And my brother didn't like her, but then my brother's a dick, so But she was leading little charges of children after him, and he was having to barricade his bedroom door shut because she was trying to get in there to beat him up.
wow. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just Thunderdome, man.
Yeah, right?
It's it's like the playgrounds in Northern Ireland. It's just Thunderdome,
Yeah.
In England, all the parents stay, and they're like, "Oh, no, don't do this, Timothy. Don't do that, Tarquin," and that. And over here, they just like throw the kids at you and say, "We'll be back in 3 hours." And then zoom off, and they're like, "No, free time!" Ah.
So who did
I
the Christmas Story, sticking their tongue to the pole?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
in the
my
cold?
gosh, yes. Who hasn't seen that movie,
never.
but who's actually tried it?
I
I
remember
never
some
tried
kids
it.
at recess tried it when I was a kid. Wasn't in my class, but yeah, they got stuck to the pole.
Yeah.
Their tongue got
I didn't
That's
do it.
bad.
I didn't
Don't
do
do
it
it.
to a pole, but
Ever.
I did it after I
I've
saw
done
the
it.
movie. I did it into the freezer, like
Ah.
I got stuck, and my mom was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
I'm gonna-
Oh my gosh.
What's that,
pour some
Brittany?
hot water to burn your tongue.
Oh,
Well-
right, so I guess take the better of the worst options. Shoot, I went out and did on a flagpole in our park, and of course, I'm like, oh, it is real. This is a thing. I'm like, and they're like cracking up at me. Of course, I was the dummy that decided to say, I'll try it because I'm like, this ain't real. Like, it's a movie.
Is that when you knew you were going to be a wrestler? Like, I'm going to do stuff to hurt
I was
myself
like-
to entertain people.
Look, me and my brother grew up in wrestling. It was just mayhem all the time. But
Oh, yeah. They had the Von Erich brothers out here in Houston. Those
Wow.
are big. Yeah, those are
Yeah.
big people.
it's incredible. I mean, I stand about 6'1" and maybe a little more, but these guys, man, 6'3", 6'4", minimum on average. And I'm a pretty big guy, so you can only imagine how big these guys get. So you put that into perspective, right? As a wrestler, and I'm 6'1", they put me into a cruiserweight division, even though I was 235 pounds. So
Oh,
put
it's like an
that into your
heavyweight
head.
fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like back then, I was definitely more buff back then. Yeah, it like I've actually, like I said before in the story, I've met Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and this dude is like twice my size. I'm like, I actually got to talk to him, but yeah, these guys are big.
I went to
I would have been
WrestleMania.
so starstruck.
Oh, it was
I
cool.
went to WrestleMania here in Houston when The Rock and Stone Cold fought each other, and I was in a row where Kane and the Big Show walked in front of me, like threw us in a hardcore match, and I was like
You're like-
14, so I didn't know what to do, and I just got excited. Yeah, and I freaked out and I punched Kane in the arm
Oh
as hard
no!
as I could, and he just looked over, and I was like scared because he's so huge. He was like almost a 7-footer, and Big Show was like
Wow.
7 something, you know. I was just like,
Wow.
I just didn't know what to, I was so excited. I punched him. I didn't know what to do.
That was the thing that goes through your head. Like, I had to punch him? What?
Biggest guy I ever punched and walked away from it, you know.
That's
I
a
get it,
story right
though.
there.
I totally get it because growing up, my brother, he's older than me, and all it was WWE, you know, well, WWF at the time, but like just all these wrestling moves, and I kind of incorporate them. I mean, I did that in my life when I started to actually stick up for myself. So, I mean, flying down a flight of stairs was nothing for me to grab them by my ankles and flip them. I mean, like, and I'm talking guys, like girls, honestly, I didn't bother with. I just fluffed them off. I found it more fun to fight the guys because they didn't expect it, but then after a while, they kind of knew to leave me alone because
Jill.
I was all about the wrestling moves. And they didn't know what to do with me. So, yeah.
Jill says the last wrestler I saw was Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks.
Those are some
Those
names.
are interesting names.
Yeah.
But who, like, here's a good question. Like, those that are wrestling fans anyway, who is your like favorite wrestler? Who did you kind
Giant
of look
Haystacks.
to?
Giant
Really?
Haystacks.
Is that
Yeah,
really
I've got his
a thing?
autograph. I've
No
got his
kidding.
autograph.
Is it Irish or British
He was
wrestler?
the British. Him and the other really famous
Alright.
one was called Big Daddy.
I gotta look him up.
For the longest time, it was the Hulk for me. Like
Oh, yeah,
when I
Hulk.
was young,
Hulk
like
Hogan, or-
young. Yeah, Hulk
Okay.
Hogan. Like,
Hulk.
I mean, I was in awe of that man, and I'm talking like 7 years old. Like I'm loving him, you know. Like,
The Undertaker. I see Shock said that.
oh, you just.
I took it from an
Yeah,
outside.
I've got something really, really naughty. At the moment, you can look it up and go Queen, The Undertaker, and Megan, and they've got this thing of basically somebody walking up, and it's the WWF, I think, still, and The Undertaker just basically
yeah.
comes out and goes and it's like, you know, Megan at the Queen's funeral.
Rises
Sorry.
from the coffin and chokes, puts it
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
yeah. Saw
This
that
is
one.
okay for you into YouTube. Zoom doesn't have this yet, but if you, it's a 7-second delay. But this is Giant Haystack. I actually didn't know who he was until just now, so I have to look into maybe some of his videos.
Well, it used to be on every Saturday afternoon, and there'd be him and Big Daddy, and there'd be loads of other ones, and they were really just big, fat men. They weren't, you know,
Like muscle
particularly,
bound as much.
like muscly or strength trained or anything like that. They were just big dudes, and it was just really good fun. It was really silly. It was really camp. You know, it wasn't as serious or as the WWE stuff is. You know.
Looked like he didn't miss his British breakfast. He never missed that.
WWE is serious.
Well,
Oh,
it
man.
comes across as across as more serious
Wife.
than the British stuff did. The British stuff was very, very camp and very silly, and you know, everybody knew it was all put on, and it was just it was considered family fun. So you know, but were you guys? It's like whoa, bigger music, you know.
So someone said, for Shock, yeah, with Undertaker, but he's a good go-to. But Freddie Blassie, classy Freddie Blassie.
Oh yeah, I remember.
He was a pretty cool wrestler in the day. I don't know how many remember classy Freddie Blassie. Curious. Trying to find his picture real quick.
I mean, I remember all those guys like British Bulldog and Jim Duggan, and I like Mick Foley back then too. All his different characters.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Well, here's a picture of Freddie Blassie. His heyday.
What is it? Ted DiBiase was another one. He was pretty good back then.
Ted DiBiase was the $1 Million Man.
Yeah.
He's a fun guy. My favorite, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He always in his gimmick speeches and stuff, because what they call the ham it up speeches, interviews. He always talks like he's so constipated. Oh, going to a tea party. Cream of the crop, brother.
Yeah. And then Ultimate Warrior was pretty good too.
Yeah. If anybody remember WrestleMania 7, that was one of my favorite matches. It was a retirement match between Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man.
What about Roddy Piper?
Yeah, he was good.
I liked him. I did.
He had a lot of charisma. I liked him for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka, is that your era?
It was my era.
Yeah.
Rix once said Andre the Giant.
Oh, again, going back to The Princess Bride.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Hot Rod.
Zaiden,
That's me.
I have a question for you, my love.
I have an answer for you.
That's wonderful.
Oh, Lisa, let me get you back in here. What's your question?
But do you happen to know anything about this, like what's going on with McMahon and this whole crazy situation? Like, have you heard any updates or?
With which? What's the
with
story?
McMahon?
Oh, McMahon.
Yeah.
Like Ed McMahon.
Vince
Vince
McMahon.
The Vince
sorry.
McMahon, right?
Yeah.
We got some health situations going on. I heard he had one, but I don't know what's going on.
No,
with him.
I mean with like him.
He had SA allegations.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you know what? It's coming to light too. Now I'm gonna think about it. Let's see if I can't look it up.
Because
Several
I know
$1 million
Stephanie, she's stepping up. I know, but something about him resigning or
right, he didn't want to get fined and the company get in trouble, so he stepped down. But he really didn't step down. Really, I mean, it's just a legal thing, right? He was accused here, according to the article, paying 2 ladies hush money for alleged affairs, sending unsolicited. All right, before I go reading this, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do this real quick.
Warning.
Little warning for everybody, graphic and language. So heads up, might be triggerish as soon as I start reading this. So, McMahon was accused of paying 2 women hush money after alleged affairs, sending us unsolicited nude photos and sexually harassing a female employee, and coercing a former female wrestler to give McMahon oral stuff, and then retaliating against that wrestler when she resisted further encounters. So that was as of July 22nd. I'm not sure if there was any follow-up to that. But he had so many reports of stuff happening.
I think it was prior to that too, right? It's been throughout the years, like there's been things like slipping out with him.
Yeah. So it's been he's been pretty off the cuff on what he does. I mean, he was definitely risky with that, and of course, he didn't think he was going to get in any trouble because he's this big billionaire guy. So
yeah. And if you guys watch this show, Total Divas.
Oh yes, about the ladies of WWE.
Yeah, like you could even see it there. especially when Total Bellas started after Total Divas, because it was the Bella twins. Even like, and I mentioned all the girls, like they would tiptoe around a lot of these guys. And after hearing some of this stuff that this doctor would let slide, I don't know if he was influenced by McMahon or just
I will
I
tell
don't
you.
know.
Okay. I know things that don't hit the news. I'll tell you that right now. I don't participate in any of it because that's not who I am. But McMahon definitely has done a lot more than just two things to two different ladies, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just that; it's also drug related.
Yep.
On top of some other things. So, Lisa's Wi-Fi's acting up. It's okay, honey bunny.
Yeah, my mother and I and my father, I was
got
at their
you.
house and we were watching like there's like some like true documentary about WWE fighters, and they showed one on Shawn Michaels, and I grew up liking Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, you know. And,
Yeah, he was a fun character. Yeah.
they fed him so many opiates, and he got addicted, and I was
Yep.
like, and even in some of his biggest fights, you didn't know how like out of his mind he was on those things, and in the biggest stage, and he's like, they had to carry me through those fights, and it was like, you know, Vince and them making him carry on the storylines and stuff like that too. I mean, it's crazy.
Having being on that and having then to perform while on that is probably one of the most dangerous things you could do to yourself and other wrestlers as you're in the ring. But I completely agree 100%. You get in there and you're trying to focus on, you know, what you're doing and staying in the show, but you're so hooked on opioids, I'm sorry, that
Opiates?
opiates, thank you. My brain, hour sleep, guys, hour sleep.
There are
Remember.
two different, you know. Do you want me to explain the difference, or do people know the difference? Sorry.
No,
You can
opiates are very addictive.
No, but there's opiates and there's opioids.
Yeah, I understand
And
that.
those, but
Yeah.
yeah, so opiates are a direct derivative of opium, and opioids are a chemically derived one.
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah.
a
Sorry,
lot
just
of
teach you suck egg. So.
that's all right. So wrestlers actually got hooked on some of these drugs back then too because they were in so much pain. And if you remember back then, Purdue Pharma was a huge advocate for opiates. If you remember,
They were
Oxycontin.
not.
So, but wrestlers had legit issues because, you know, we're doing big risk moves and we're having pain, broken bones and stuff left and right. So
think
what
the
do they
thing
got
is-
left to go to, you know?
That you'd want more really to be on anti-inflammatories for injuries like for wrestling and that.
Part
Broken
of it.
bones. Oh, broken bones
That's part of
definitely.
it.
Codeine is amazing. But the other big problem is that when you're addicted to them, they also are providing, they're masking pain that you can possibly get with the wrestling, so you can actually cause yourself a lot more injury.
That's what it
Because
was.
you're
pointed,
high.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry to say.
No, you're fine. So the thing is, when you're on opiates or an Oxycontin, you get in this point where, if let's just say you're on a high, it's kind of a euphoria where your dopamine levels are so skyrocketed, but in the ring, the thing is, it causes a distraction because you're on such that high. Now, there's the opposite effect where someone says, I need to get in the ring and not be on the opiate, Oxycontin. And then you're in a withdrawal scenario where your body just doesn't know how to react to moves, therefore also causing risk to injury. So I've had to deal with that a couple times in my career with others having been on such pain medication. So it was a real problem back then. Early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. Early 2000s is when I had my career, in my prime, if you will. So it was a big thing. Absolutely.
It's like a double-edged sword in a way, because I mean, like, I know I get my medication every month, and because I'm the pain I have is just crazy, out of control. But I also know what it's like to go without. Like when there's like a 3-day storm or something like that, and you can't get to your pharmacy because it's not open.
Yeah.
I could just imagine the mind frame going into a ring, and not even that, just being on them at the time you're in there. You're definitely gonna, give yourself more harm because you're not gonna feel it at the time, depending on how much you're actually on at that moment.
Oh yeah. Part of what I had to deal with was, I mean, the pain is part of it, but I was so used to it growing up, and I know that's sad to say because it was a brutal peer-to-peer upbringing, but I was so used to it. And okay, so I'll tell you a quick story. The original reason why I went into pro wrestling, well, there's two reasons really. One, because my brother and I were like, oh, there's this cool thing, but to try out for pro wrestling, and then I went into it, and then I went through the tryout or whatever. We had to see if you could take a bump, and it's like, so my version of feeling that pain was almost a weird enjoyment for me, because it was like my version of feeling.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's you can say that's weird or whatever. I mean, that was weird, but in a way, for me, it was like my way of dealing with life. But on the trade side of that, I got to meet some really cool people. But I got used to the pain. I didn't take anything for it because that's what that's what made me feel alive. I don't know if that rings anything.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
Makes sense.
But
yeah, my father was an amateur boxer, and he said sometimes when he'd get that first punch that really kind of hit him, like it would wake him up though. Like he'd be like, "Okay, we're in." Like,
there's that. That's true.
So yeah, and I've been in my share of scuffles, and yeah, it's kind of true. Once you finally get that, you're like, "Okay, I'm awake. I'm in this thing."
Yeah.
Not fun, it's not a thing.
I bet not. So your dad was a amateur boxer? Okay.
Yeah, he was amateur, and he had like maybe about 30 fights. So I grew up learning some of that stuff and loving boxing, So it's just something that, I mean, it conflicts because I went to art school, but I grew up with boxing. Yeah.
So everybody's loving your puppies, by the way, Brandon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your adorable puppies.
Zaiden, I have another question, and I hope you have another answer for it.
Of course I have another answer. Whether it's a good one or a bad one.
All right. Where do I go to find like footage of you, and your stage name?
So I have an interest video that's out there on YouTube right now that was, I think it's like 12 years old now. A lot less hair. If you look up Zaiden Storm, just on YouTube in general, you'll find it's like, how some wrestlers have a video entrance kind of visual when they come down the ramp on the back screen.
Yep.
This would be mine. If anybody sees it, you'll know. You'll see Zaiden Storm, me with my shades on and a lot less hair, and looks like I had some gloves just like these. Yeah, you'll find it. Some matches, you might find one, maybe two, but back in the day, it was all tape related. We weren't quite up to the technology yet.
Oh yeah.
Not many is out there right now. I'm still actually trying to find some, believe it or not. I have a couple friends out there. I'm trying to reach out to see if they got some tapes. I'm gonna try to get that put
they
on.
digitize that
Digitize.
stuff. Data, yeah,
Digital.
data loss quality and stuff. Though it's like, man, I wish they filmed it or put it on film so you could transfer it properly, huh? But,
Right. Yeah.
it doesn't.
Oh, I can't
Well-
wait to find some more. But yes, that's a good question. Good question. Carrie,
Well, I'm
trust me, if I find
definitely-
more, you guys will know.
Yeah. Please send them my way because as soon as this is over, I'm looking you up, brother.
Absolutely fine with me.
Right on.
You'll see a whole new side of me you may not have expected.
Oh,
Were you like Rob Van Dam style? Or-
I was
Extreme?
more of your Brett the Hitman Hart style.
oh,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say,
yeah.
actually.
That was my
Yeah.
style.
Tassels. I see tassels.
tassels.
Yeah.
Did I wear tassels?
Like
I
a
don't remember
fringe,
if I
like a
did.
fringe, tassels, like fringe on the
You
side.
know,
yeah.
my memory's escaping me. Tassels. I mean, not like Ultimate Warrior tassels or anything, but let's see. I primarily wore like a sleeveless, skin tight, like an Under Armour shirt. But I always come out with a fancy like long sleeve shirt or something that has some decorative whatever on it. Pants. I still have the pants actually from my wrestling days.
did you
Boots?
model them for your wife?
That stays behind the scenes of the Gauche. That will not be
As far as the
revealed.
videos, I've even only seen a couple of the videos because, yeah, we can't find any online or anything. And then he's trying to get hold of his
Oh man, here comes
other
the blush.
teammates and stuff to see if
Yeah.
they have any footage. But
You are blushing so bad, brother.
Oh, you blushed again. You
stop.
blushed last night too. I remember seeing.
Me, I don't blush.
You're almost the same color as your shirt.
I get to wrestle with my Zaiden.
You are the color of your jacket now.
Oh, you totally are, my brother. You totally are.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
Did
know how to make a
did
guy
you would
blush.
y'all wrestle so like the tables, ladders, and chairs match, or what? Or like, like they do in WWE. Just out.
Well,
I bet-
the
I
behind the
bet
scenes
ya-
part of things we'll leave out of that conversation.
But I bet you Gina gives you a good go. I hope
Oh,
it's the
man.
ladder in the bedroom.
Whoa.
You didn't expect that one to go the way it did, huh, Brandon?
I was wondering though, is that why Miracle is in her name? Does she perform miracles for you?
Cheers to that, Brandon. Cheers to that.
Make you go loopy.
Oh man, you guys are on a roll right now. Woo, man.
Did you know if you get ice cream
Oh,
and you
man.
kind of mix it so it melts a little bit, so it's like a thick soup, and you put squirty cream on and just like fold over the ice cream over the squirty cream, it makes it taste like a meringue.
I didn't know where that was going, but cool.
Okay. See, I'm thinking of ice cream now in
somewhere
the middle
not
of a
where you were
table of
going.
letters and chairs match. So, to answer your question real quick, Brandon, yes, we did do those matches in the day. I didn't exactly do them that often, but there was one battle royale which I ended up getting to meet Hacksaw Jim Duggan for, was a ladders tables match, but the tables were all around the outside of the ring. So if you go over the top rope, you go through a table. I was one of the last three standing in that contest, and I got tossed so high, and then the table I went through literally exploded over me on top of me. I ended up getting stitches across my eye, but everybody was going, holy
Yeah.
like chanting that. It was
shnikes.
just echoing.
Yeah.
It was echoing. I'm like, okay, that must have been pretty cool, but I can't breathe. I'm like, so the ref's like, Do I need to put the signal out? And the signal, in case you all want to know for medical reasons, is the X sign. When a ref ever does this, that means they need medical assistance for that particular wrestler.
Did the tables have any give? Did they have any extra give? I knew, like, I thought I heard that before.
Well, see, typically, okay, I'm going to tell you a trade secret. Sorry, anybody pro wrestlers out there that are watching this, but it's kind of out there already. It's already been out there. But tables, if you notice, most of your tables will have like a metal ring around the base to kind of keep the support. So when you put stuff on it, it's pretty sturdy. They take that off. That part, they take it out, or it's really loose or cut in the middle. So what'll happen is it gives the illusion of the table being there, but it's going to give you more give. So literally, you can just kind of fall on it, and it will just give on you. Sometimes they'll leave a ring on if you got distance coming down, because it will create the give and bounce, and still kind of break your fall. Exactly. So if we're having a table ladder chair match, you're on top of a ladder coming through a table, most likely that table has a ring on it still, because the distance coming down is a lot greater and the inertia coming down is heavier. If you're just going through a table like the Dudley boys, if you remember from the ECW days, they'll just do a little off the mat and then put someone through, but they don't have the rings on the base of that table, that little frame. It just caves right in. My case... On the Battle Royale, it didn't have the ring, but I had so much height, and from my martial arts experience, I knew exactly how to land, but man, it still knocked the wind out of me. So I did land correctly, but I couldn't breathe for like 5 minutes. That table exploded so hard. Like, it goes like this, but the outside edges come together, clap, and then exploded.
Oh my.
So that's what happens when you don't have the ring on there, which it probably should have been on there, that frame. So I would have been able to at least bounce a little bit through the table, and when I went through it. So yeah, that was an intense moment. But yes, we've had some table ladders and chairs matches.
That's cool.
That was my biggest table match, if you will, on a battle royal. It was cool, and that's when I got to meet Hacksaw for the first time, getting stitched up. It's funny, because I actually had a tag team title match right after that, 2 matches after that. So, of course, Hacksaw's like, dude, you're young, but you're going to end your career. So he's giving me all this wisdom before I go into this next match. I'm like...
Yeah, you're like soaking it in. Oh. Did you soak it in, or you were just too starstruck?
I soaked it in, bro. Both. I was like, this is so cool.
Internally going, I am not worthy.
Yes, that's about right. Still right. But yeah, so that was yes, table ladders and chairs. Now imagining that with ice cream, Brandon, and Mel. Yeah, that's a whole nother kind of wrestling match.
A celebrity one at that.
It's a bit like they had this really random channel on cable in the UK, and they used to play topless darts. So just woman naked from the waist up playing darts.
Oh,
UK is way different from USA, so.
Yeah, no, it's better than Fat Ugly Man, but
Actually,
So Lisa's Wi-Fi is working, and she seems to have found something.
Lisa, you coming back? Here, let me get you guys a link one more time if you guys want to come in and join us.
It's also pinned to the top as well, everybody.
Yep. For some people, for some reason, they're telling me in direct DMs they're not seeing that, but I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah, but she found something.
You found
C'est
something.
incroyable.
There it is. Links in the chat if anybody else wants to join in on this wonderful live conversation. We're just having some fun today, having a chat.
I thought we were supposed to go over these stories on Wednesday.
Oh, trust me, more to come. You think I was giving you everything? I was just scratching the surface.
Looking
more.
forward to it.
Also,
Oh.
really enjoyed the
Buffalo.
interview with David. That was really cool.
Oh, you know what? I think someone found it.
Yep.
Actually, Lisa, go ahead and post that link into the chat. I'm kind of curious myself because I've been looking for that one.
Ernie Balls, is that a thing, like a reference to the guitar? Ernie Ball strings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was very much along that line. I'm glad. Interesting you caught that.
Yeah.
That was his character's thing.
So you're the bass player then, right? That's where you get the bass?
Of course.
Yeah. He's a guitar player. I get it.
We were the band. I don't even know what we were called back then. We were a tag team. Like I went through quite a few different tag team names. Well, not a lot, but there were some tag team names that I didn't quite remember. It was just 1 or 2 matches, and then of course you move on because you make it up on the spot in some venues. They're like, hey, you guys can just go ahead and wrestle in a tag team, and then call yourselves. What do you want to call yourselves? Or they'll give you a name or whatever, depending on the promoter.
PC Tech Radio's in the chat.
Yeah,
Hey!
Hey, David.
he's here. Yep. So PC Tech Radio and I think a few others. I don't know who's all involved, but obviously Tim's not going to be the primary host for his stream, but PC Tech Radio is going to help out with us today. How you doing, PC Tech? We see you out there. Yay! More wrestling stories Wednesday. Yes, stay tuned. We've got some wrestling
Zaiden,
stories.
is that video? Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. Is that video that I found? It says Vato Loco with the Ghost Mafia. Is that you? Because it says Zane Ash, Zaiden Storm, and Ernie Balls.
That would be correct. That's
Yeah. So I.
Oh, sounds like she cut out.
Short.
there you are. Okay, so yes, to answer your question, that's got me in there. Yes, Ernie Balls, West Coast Mafia. Yep. There's this awesome match that I had with someone named Chief Buttanaka, which he eventually became a member of the West Coast Mafia. He was such a great wrestler to work with. I miss that guy. But yeah, if you want, Lisa, you can post the link for that in chat. Sure. Totally okay with that. Let's see. We got Jenny Jen coming in the house. What? No. Really? Jenny Jen's honoring us with her presence. Madden you in. There's Jenny Jen. What's up, Jenny Jen? Can you hear? Oh, you're muted, love.
Well,
Sorry.
You're
Hello.
getting the dry
Oh, here she
eyesight
goes.
for you now.
How you doing, Jenny Jen?
Oh, got my head stuck in the news.
Yeah.
It kind of triggered me, to be honest, because the last picture of her where she was meeting the new Prime Minister, where she looked sort of, really frail. She looked a twin of my mum before she passed.
Oh my.
I can't believe how much my mum looked like her, and it just sort of.
Oh, when I showed the
me.
photo?
No, it was the photograph that the press had been releasing
Oh, okay.
when she was, last seen. Where she
Oh, yeah.
was,
Right.
It was
I think,
taken
yeah.
on the 6th of September.
yeah,
That was like
no.
widely circulated, right? It was all over
No,
the
it's
press.
just it really triggered me because it looked just like my mum.
Wow.
Can't describe it, but how frail she looked, and she's got the same smile, and I'll show you a picture of her sometime. You'll know what I mean. But yeah, so it kind of got to be more, I think, because of that. Just seeing that picture. But anyway, there you go. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Ginny. Yeah, I got a little sad too when I saw that picture because my grandmother, she's 89 and she lives with my parents. So when I go visit her, and she's a widow, and so when I see her, and I saw that picture, I was like, oh man, that's gonna happen to my
Yeah.
grandmother one day. But I got a little sad, but I think it's just a thing of life. I mean,
Yeah, but I was watching an interview. I can't remember her name, but she's some royal socialite that likes to sort of.
Oh, Lady Colin Campbell.
I can't remember her name.
I
and
guarantee you it's. And she talks like this,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's Lady Colin Campbell because
She went
and
on. Was it Big Brother or the other one?
yeah, it was one of Celebrity Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah,
or
but
something like that.
she
she's not.
reckons that the Queen had some sort of bone cancer.
The Queen was on diamorphine, for and had been having treatment for cancer.
Yeah.
And
Well, that was pretty obvious because
and
the
the thing was that,
deterioration and the loss of weight.
yeah, and also she's died of a broken heart, and
Well, not so much
um,
that. I mean, she started the deterioration, I think, after she lost Philip, but with all the stress of all the other family stuff going on as well, it didn't help.
that's what I mean. But also as well with her mobility, that she was told to stop horse riding, and when you're horse riding, you get really, really strong legs.
Yeah,
and hips.
well, you can't keep, you couldn't keep a good woman like her down. She wouldn't even go in a wheelchair, so she didn't want to be seen as looking weak and stuff.
Yeah. But it's I had a weird thing this time last year when we got over to see my aunt, who passed away in April, but and I walk in to see her, and I'm almost happy because she looked exactly like my grandmother. Obviously, she looked like her mother, I guess, and it was like my granny had come back.
Yeah.
And I came back, and I couldn't. Her daughter wouldn't have gotten that, so I couldn't explain. Her daughter was really surprised that I wasn't as upset, and I just had to, fake it and say, well, Mummy's siblings have all had cancer and that.
That's what I saw in the Queen. I instantly saw my mum, the same stance, the same smile. She had the same hairstyle, the same features. And it just really triggered me.
Yeah, I met her, and she really is like, she is the matriarch. She is,
Yeah, I always thought she'd outlive me, to be honest, and I think because the Queen Mum died when she was over 100, I think most of the population thought that maybe she would reach that age as well.
I think she would have. If she hadn't caught COVID, I think, and I think if, losing all these things happening in a 12-month period, I think basically, when you're, and she was working, she wasn't taking the time off when she was told to, and all this kind of things.
2 days before she passed away, she was up and about and she was smiling, and then 2 days later she was gone. I think that's what shocked everyone so much. It was literally, but then again, I saw that with my mum.
Yeah. Well, it was the same with my uncle. My uncle went into remission. My uncle went into remission, and all of a sudden, 3 months later, we were burying him. It was.
Yeah. Oh, it comes back. They say actually that everybody has cancer cells in them, and it's generally trauma that triggers it. That's what I read some time ago. Whether there's any truth in it, I don't know.
Well, we've
Yeah, I've had-
proven
I've had
that some of them
multiples,
are viruses because we've got the human papilloma virus, and that's what causes cervical cancer.
Yeah,
So we
then
have
your
a
lymph
vaccine for
nodes
that.
and stuff.
Lymph nodes are when it gets bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
When
want
it
to
gets
interrupt
to
you
a
guys.
lymph
I just want to let you
Yeah,
guys know
we
I
need
did
to say
just
that. This is-
post in
It's wrestling match.
Yeah, this is one of my. I can't play it, but I can at least show you like a slide or two because it's not my channel. That I think is ridiculous because that's me. But I checked the copyright on it, so I can't play it. But I can at least show you. And I gave you guys a link too, so if you want to check out the whole thing in its entirety, you can.
Which person are you in this?
I am the guy in the shades coming down the aisle here, being escorted out.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so. I was watching it.
And
Ooh.
of course, while I'm streaming, it's a little slow. So it was a tag team match. See if I can get maybe a couple of little sneak slides in
I
here.
used to love wrestling when I was a kid.
Big Daddy.
Oh God, yeah, and Giant Haystacks.
Yeah. And nobody remembers anybody else.
But when you're a kid, you actually think that stuff's real. Until
yeah.
you get
Well, I'll tell you this much. Even though most of it's staged, a lot of the pain side of things are real.
Yeah.
I will give you that. But it's
You can't
controlled to
make
the
it
point
good.
where you shouldn't be getting injured on every match. A lot, like I said before, a lot of the refs, if there's an injury issue, they'll give the X sign to let the medical personnel know that this is legit of an injury, not an act. A lot of individuals will
Yeah,
act
but-
out an injury.
At the end of the day, you can't beat a good body slam. Come on.
It's
Honestly,
funny.
those are the best moves to take. Because if you notice,
Honestly.
the ring gives a little bit when you land. The heavier you are, the better.
The pile
Yeah,
drivers
they-
are the worst, right?
Supposed to be like
Well, that depends on
Sprung.
how thick the person's legs are that's giving it.
Oh, the pile driver. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about Owen Hart injuring Stone Cold's neck on one match. And
Yeah, so
That was-
there's a little science behind that because your normal pile driver comes down with facing out. If you ever noticed, what happened when Owen did the pile driver to Stone Cold, it was inverted where he was facing inward. His
Oh,
head could not tuck into his crotch area. There was no give. So what ended up happening was because he
Oh,
had
I
no
can do that.
give to tuck his head went straight into the mat.
hey.
that's terrible.
Yeah, not to mention Owen Hart's legs were not that thick on top of it, so he didn't have the shoulders to, Stone Cold's shoulders to kind of bounce and cushion with, or thick enough legs, I should say, for his shoulders to bounce off from. So yeah, that's not exactly. If we were to put like the most dangerous moves top 10 list, an inverted pile driver would probably rank at least in the top 3.
Dang, yeah.
It
And
was
he
never
came back
perfect.
from that. That's terrible. But
Yeah.
what happened to Owen was way worse.
Oh, of course, right? I mean,
Mm. I was watching that
remember
event
when he was
live.
Blue Blazer when he came out.
Yeah, I was watching that event.
Just
Yeah, that was sad.
realised the date.
9/10.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 9/11 tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God.
21 years. 21 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
this
it's
thing's
just
having
been-
a heck of a time loading. So I'll let you guys watch that on your own. You can check out, of course, our wonderful link tree, which you can't quite see on this screen, but
Were you at
Go
235?
show some love.
What was
share
that,
some
Brandon?
love. What was that, Brandon?
Were you at 235 in this match?
I was actually, that was when a little earlier on in my career. So that was when I was 220. I bulked up a little bit since then.
I'm
Still a big
glad
boy.
I'm glad that you said which one you were because I honestly thought you were the first one with the thing on his head, and I was like, yeah, that's the thing. Oh no,
Yeah.
the thing comes out with a lady on
I
his
so had a
arm.
better gimmick than that. Of course, that was the only one I could find on YouTube right now. So go
Yeah.
figure. Anyway, but those were the
Glory
days.
days. Huh? Glory
Yep.
days.
Yeah,
the good
glory
years.
days.
I caught that dad joke earlier. Speaking of
Some
which,
zingers.
let's go for a zinger. Why not? Let's do a zinger.
Woo!
Let's do a
You got
zinger.
the crickets ready.
Prepare the crickets. Prepare them. Okay, so here we go. What did Buzz Aldrin say before he stepped onto the moon? He said, "Kneel before me."
Oh.
Yeah, crickets.
Neil Armstrong, get it? I just found out I'm colorblind. The news came out of the purple instead of the blue. Get it?
To the blue, yes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
I don't get why Marvel doesn't use the Hulk to advertise more. He's basically one big banner. Nah. Yeah. Can't help
I
it.
read one earlier because I was like, let me find one, and it was like, why does my dad always bring extra socks when he plays golf?
In case he gets a hole in one.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, so good. So bad, but it's so good.
I got
That was
Way to
excellent.
go, Lisa.
I got a funny joke. Why did the bunny build herself a new house?
What's that? Well, repeat it.
Why did the bunny build herself a new house?
Why did the bunny build himself a new house? Oh, I think I might know the answer. Go ahead.
Because she got fed up with the whole thing.
That's awesome. Oh wow. But in touch.
It's
pretty hot- that's a pretty happening,
What
joke.
do you call?
What's that, Lisa? Go ahead.
Oh, Madonna put one in saying, "What do
Oh.
you call a sheep with no legs?" A cloud.
I like that one.
I like that one, Madonna.
Respect. Yes, that was good. Oh my god. Thank you, Madonna. That was fantastic.
Madonna's from Northern Ireland as well. Yeah.
Rock on.
Yep.
The bank.
And not named after the singer.
So there's a bank that keeps calling me to give me a compliment. They say I have an outstanding balance. Yes, the sandpaper. Oh. Oh. Well, when I was a kid, my mother told me I could be anyone I wanted to. Turns out, identity theft is a crime. Dun. Man, I was victim twice of identity crime, man. It sucks, but
I always used to make the joke that if anybody can get the credit on my account when I was younger and still at college and messing around, please let me know because I'd love to get some as well. I'm like, good luck to you. I can't get it. If you can get it, let me know.
Have you heard about the new restaurant called Karma?
oh boy.
There's no menu. You get what you deserve.
Oh,
I like that one.
that's a good one.
That
That's
is
a
I was
good.
thinking
good day.
it's like low it's like yo sushi. It's what goes around comes around.
That's good. Oh my. So, what did the police officer say to his belly button? I think I may have said.
You're under a vest.
Yep. Good classic one there. But what do you call a pudgy psychic?
Oh, oh gosh, you've said this one before.
I did. Lisa
Future
remembers.
Weight Watcher.
No,
What do you
I
call
can't remember the punchline. I
a
can't remember
pudgy
the punchline.
psychic? I'll give it to you. It's a fortune teller.
Fortune teller. That's what it was. I'm like, it's something like a teller, but I could. Oh yeah.
Oh, did you hear about Fortune Teller Night was cancelled? It was due to unforeseen circumstances.
Oh, unforeseen.
Saw
I
that
get
coming,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
old.
God.
That is an old one.
What did the fish say when he swam into a wall? Damn.
I came back just in time.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so what did Tennessee? What did
Okay,
Tennessee?
What do you call a fish with no eyes?
All right, go ahead, Carrie.
A fish.
I don't get it.
Fish with
Oh,
no
no
eyes.
eyes. Okay, I
Yeah,
get it.
Oh,
Fish.
How do you follow Will Smith in the snow?
What?
what?
How do you follow Will Smith in the snow?
The trail of blood from being beaten
Track
by
the
his
Fresh
wife.
Prince.
Ah,
What
She's
do you
That's a classic. Though. I
call?
like it.
What do you call a can opener that doesn't work?
Crap.
Can't opener.
A can opener.
A can't opener.
Can't opener. Oh man. All right, I got one. All right, my wife asked me to get 6 cans of Sprite from the grocery store. I realized when I got home that I had picked 7-Up.
Well, what did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Supplies!
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Why do seagulls fly over the ocean?
Because if they flew in the bay, they would be bagels.
Ah!
Oh.
Bennett.
Bennett.
I've got my cousins called Gordon Bennett. That's not a joke.
That's a good
Wow. Wow, Mel.
Oh, that's not a joke. It's really it's my husband's cousin.
I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something.
I had that one earlier.
Oh.
Oh, yesterday I accidentally swallowed a thing of food coloring, and I went to the doctor. He says I'll be okay, but I feel like I've died a little inside.
Oh, I get it. Waka.
I always
Where's
feel
the
that way.
crickets? Look, everybody in chat, let's fill it up with just a lot of crickets. I mean,
And
this is crazy.
becoming vegetarian is just one big mistake.
Yes.
I was wondering why the ball was getting bigger. Then it hit me.
Yeah, that's a baseball joke. I remember. All right, here's one. What do you call an angry musician flipping someone off?
Freebird?
Close. Songbird.
Songbird.
Some
Okay.
aquatic mammals at the zoo escaped. It was otter chaos.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I think your accent helped that joke too, because in the South,
Yeah.
otter chaos.
and never trust an atom. They make up everything.
Oh,
A
classic.
woman walks out of the shower, winks at her boyfriend, and says, "Honey, I've shaved myself down there. Do you know what that means?" And the boyfriend says, "Yeah, it means the drains are frigging clogged again."
Wow.
My sister bet me that I couldn't build a car out of spaghetti. You should have seen her face when I drove past her.
Oh, man. Wow. All right, I got one here. Want to know why nurses like red crayons? Sometimes they have to draw blood.
Here's a stupid one. 2 muffins were sitting in an oven. One turned to the other and said, "Wow, it's pretty hot in here." The other one shouted, "Wow, a talking muffin." So stupid.
Sorry, Dad.
Wow. What would the Terminator be called in his retirement? What would the Terminator be called in his retirement?
A determinator.
Exterminator.
The Exterminator. Yes.
I made.
Ds.
I made up a pun about the wind, but it really blows.
Waka waka.
Never discuss infinity with a mathematician. They can go on about it forever.
Guys,
Gen D, my uncle died drinking furniture polish. It was a slow death, but a beautiful finish.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay, I got one here. I got an old one here.
Oh, Jen D.
Yeah, I was reading
Still.
hers in there.
Thank you, Jen D.
I know a guy who collects candy canes. They were all in mint condition.
Wow. Wow.
Guys, I sold my vacuum the other day. All it was doing was collecting dust.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow.
How is sex like a game of bridge? If you've got a great hand, you don't need a partner.
Okay, here's one for Zaiden. 2 windmills are standing in a windmill farm. One asks, "What's your favorite kind of music?" The other says, "I'm a big metal fan."
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. I like the reference. I get it. I grew up in that era. So let's see. What's the name of a very polite European body of water? Merci.
Ugh.
Merci. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's also really good because you've got mer, which actually means sea in French as well. That's a double pun.
Thank you, Mel.
I thought mer meant water.
Mer is l'eau is water, EAU, and MER because you've got fruits de mer, which is fruits of the sea. Like if you're having cockles and mussels alive over your dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
Clams and
I
that.
just thought that I knew that low was water. I thought that mer was water too, but
No, it's
sorry.
La mer is the sea. And you go to La Mer.
I think Jenny just read something.
She's laughing.
Oh my God, Jenny's
Just
off the
read
hook.
something.
Oh
Who's
no,
pulling your tit, darling?
Stop laughing.
Jenny, you gotta let us know what is it so funny? Give us the scoop.
Share, Jenny, share.
Come on, don't leave us hanging over here.
He inhaled some laughing gas.
Right?
Oh, that's
And
the first
to
time
not-
I've laughed in about 2 weeks. What's the difference between an oral and a rectal thermometer? The taste.
The taste? Is that what you said? Oh,
Yeah.
no. Jenny!
Oh dear. I don't know why that tickled me, but it did.
Why do we tell actors to break a leg? Because every play has a cast.
Ah. Well played. Well played.
Bye bye, Brandon.
Brandon's- he's broke.
Why does it take 100 million sperm to fertilize one egg?
Oh God, Jen.
Because they won't stop to ask for directions.
Waka waka. Oh.
So yesterday, I saw a guy spill all his Scrabble letters on the road.
Oh, that one, yeah.
So I asked him, "What's the word on the street?"
Okay, I got that.
I've got a terrible one here. No, I'm not saying this. It's good, but no.
I've got a really, really bad one here. I've got a really bad pun here. England
It was
doesn't have
real
a
quick.
kidney
Sorry.
bank. Sorry.
Brandon, thanks for coming on, buddy. I know you have to get going, but yeah, you're welcome. Anytime you're welcome, buddy.
Aw. Bye, Brandon.
Awesome. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Next
Mel.
time.
England doesn't have a kidney bank, but it does have a Liverpool.
Wow. Give me some crickets in the chat.
I still like that dentist joke.
Yes, that one is
That
so
was good.
funny.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh my gosh.
She
So-
said she had a photographic memory, but never developed it.
A woman in
fun one.
labor suddenly shouted, "Shouldn't, wouldn't, couldn't, didn't, can't." "Don't worry," said the doc. "Those are just contractions."
Oh.
What do you
That
call
was
a
good.
What do you
That was
call a
good.
cheap circumcision? A rip-off.
What do you get when you mix alcohol and literature? Tequila Mockingbird.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
wow.
crickets.
Wow. So
What
bad, it's
wash-
so good.
Yeah, what washes up on tiny beaches? Microwaves.
Oh, I get it. All right, I got one here for you guys. How do you row a canoe filled with puppies?
Doggy paddling.
You bring out the doggy paddle. Thank you,
Oh, I
Lisa.
prefer the rude joke.
My clean sense of humor side of it. Anyhow, we're gonna probably have to close up shop. That was a lot of fun, guys.
What goes in hard and dry, but comes out
Oh
soft
God,
and wet?
man.
Pasta?
Gum.
Gum.
Gum?
Chewing gum.
Yeah.
Well,
I
pasta
really
too.
thought this was going another way.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not the answer. There. There's probably another joke for pasta. It doesn't say pasta here. It just says gum. Give me a break. It's all I've got. I can't give you any more. It's gum. Just let it be gum.
Okay, it's
Oh,
gum.
man.
We'll rejig it to pasta later. I'll get in touch with the website.
Oh, we've got a pasta one. Even spaghetti. Oh no, I'm gonna ruin it. Never mind.
Yeah, I've
It's
seen
the
that one
like
earlier.
Why don't scientists trust atoms?
Because they're everywhere.
Because they make everything up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Uh,
Waka waka.
How does a woman scare a gynecologist? By becoming a ventriloquist.
What was my husband's one last week?
Sorry. What was the
Okay,
question?
I've got one. Sorry.
Hold on, Mil. Lisa, you had a question?
I was trying to remember. Oh, I remember it now. The joke that my husband told me last week. I don't know about what's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone? You can't hear an enzyme.
Oh.
Oh, I know a joke. Yeah, I can tag a joke
Oh
on
my
to the end
God.
of that. How do you make a hormone? You don't pay her.
Oh no.
I've got one here which is like darkly apt at the moment for the UK, and also,
We'll go for a
me.
few more of these guys, and I gotta close up
Okay.
shop, all right?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I really hate funerals which are at 9 a.m. because I'm really not a morning person.
Uh-huh.
So
Sorry, I'm-
true. I heard
I'm
that.
dark. I have a dark sense of humor, man. We grew up and it was dark times and you had dark humor to get through it. So
I think
Okay,
I'll...
this is my last one.
All right, Carrie,
I
give it to us.
promise. Where are average things manufactured?
Average things manufactured.
The Sada factory.
Satisfactory.
Cricket.
before you go, did anybody want to ask any Queen questions? Because I know Carrie.
Yeah, Amy.
did.
We're gonna reserve that, Mel, for probably the stream on
Okay.
temp, because
Yeah.
that will be one of the topics I believe we'll be talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Especially
Because
Just
that'll go
Carrie asked
right
me a
on another
question,
rabbit hole.
right?
No pun intended.
Yeah,
Lisa.
Carrie asked me a question, and I thought, like, well, let's leave it to the live, so
Yep.
we can like, talk about it and not do text. That'll be hard. It'll be easier that way.
Right.
Yeah, I
So
think
we'll,
Amy
Yeah.
P is asking, so we'll hold that for.
Yeah.
yeah, Amy. Yep.
for
We're gonna reserve that
live
for that live stream here in a little bit. Thank you guys for joining on chat. I'll go ahead and go to the panel here. We're gonna do some closing comments. We'll start with you, Mel, and then work our way through.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to give you another pun then.
And
The
that's your
guy
closing
who
comment.
Yep, the guy who invented the door knocker got the Nobel Prize.
The no bell.
Doorbell. We'll get it. Yep, I got
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bye.
Thanks, Mel. Awesome times. Jen, you're up. Give us what
What?
you got.
Why is the grass so dangerous?
I like how the closing comments are jokes. Why is the grass so dangerous?
Mm-hmm.
Tell
It's
us.
full of blades.
Oh, please.
Duh.
That reminds me of a movie. I'll talk about that later on. Thank you, Jen, for your amazing
You're welcome.
time here.
Anytime.
Looking forward to the next time. Carrie,
Sorry.
Carrie,
That was
you're
what
up.
I prepared earlier.
I'm up. Okay. Well, thank you for having me. I must say, I enjoyed myself immensely. Yeah, I want to show some love to everyone in the room. Jen, Lisa JD, Mel Bennett, and of course, beautiful Gina and awesome Zaiden. God love you
Rock
both.
bone.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure having you.
I have this terrible urge when I hear it all the time. So many people say, "Oh, thanks for having me." I feel like saying, "But I didn't feel a thing."
Lisa, you're up. Honey bun. Bunny. Honey bunny.
Oh, goodness sakes. Hey, Jenny, thanks for having me. Just kidding. But, yeah, always fun. You know, everybody will see in a few in the other room, I guess. But other than that, I guess everybody have a great weekend. And thanks for streaming, Zaiden. And yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
How
accidentally
dare
muted somebody.
you mute me after that
It was
joke?
an accident.
I thought it was a goodie.
It was a good joke. But
Thanks,
yes,
Lisa.
Lisa, thank you so much for hanging with us too. Gina, my wonder wife, give us a lowdown of your closing statement.
I wish I was a joke teller. That's a gift in itself. So had fun laughing with all you guys, like always. And I'm sure we'll be going to Temp Page channel next. And just continue to enjoy your weekend and like, subscribe, share, and grow the community.
Awesome. Amen to that. And that,
Love you, Gina.
my
Love
friends,
you guys.
is the closing of the Gauche stream of LunchRush Madness. Thanks for coming along. Hit that like, subscribe, notification button. so you stay updated with the latest content, and of course we want to have this community grow. So I appreciate every single one of you coming along today. Don't forget to go to the Linktree link there, which actually has all the other information as well, like our community and Telegram, as well as the donation links. Anything you give obviously will help towards growing this community, the hardware, and everything that gives you the best content. So again, thank you for everything that you guys do. Thank you, Mel, for your donation. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, love. And thank you guys in the chat for joining in on the fun. And thanks to our wonderful panel today joining in also. With that said, we will close out with a peace sign, and thank you for joining here on the Gauche. Zaiden out.